raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. As a volunteer, you deliver a hot, nutritious meal and a friendly hello to someone just like your mother, grandfather, or next door neighbor. These seniors are inspiring people with incredible stories to share, and they love to see you. The smiles you get back are priceless. Delivering with Meals on Wheels is easy, and you don't have to drive like me for it to be quick. You can volunteer your lunch break once a week or just once a month. With 1 in 6 seniors facing hunger and many more living in isolation, your lunch break can make a real difference. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Little roller up along first. Behind the pass. It gets slow up there. Here comes Knight in the mix. See you, Pittsburgh. Can't wait. All the babies out of the field. He's going to go into the end zone. Looking, throwing in the end zone.
You're tuned into Game On with Josh Silverberg. Talking all things sports. It's
Game on! Yeah, game on!
Game On, right here on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. This is Game On, joining you every single Tuesday from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. You can check us out on worldwidesportsradio.com, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Periscope, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and so much more. Well, I was off last week. Hope everybody's doing well. Everybody's staying safe in this weather. Of course, we will have my father, Nelson Silverberg. He will chime on in right on now. There he is from Epcot Center tonight. And then, of course, on the board, and he's going to chime in too, Mr. Speedy Peavy. He's going to come on in himself. There he is. We got the whole crew. Of course, Eric Bowe. Spoke to him the other day. Things are progressing. Still waiting. Everything like that. Just the situation dealing with right now. It's okay. Everything is fine. But there's some things he has to take care of. But he will be back. But I really enjoy my father being on the show and everything like that. And what was even better was also belated birthday to him. It was his birthday last week as well. How old are you now? 83?
I am 78.
Unbelievable.
83, give or take 5 years.
He's the No, he's not 78. I actually forget. How old are you? Seriously, I actually don't even know at this point. Melissa knows.
Well, I don't want to share it with the hundreds of viewers, but I'm 68.
There you go. We were 10 years off. Now, but it was so good. We got to be, and this is kind of a dull time in sports right now. So it's kind of like you're trying to fill things in. I was going through my topics today. I'm like, all right, what can we discuss and everything like that. I was going to ask Speedy, what are we going to discuss? And I was watching Job on the Mouth yesterday, and they're discussing pretty much similar things because we all know this is kind of a dull time right now in sports. There's just nothing happening. Football season's over. Baseball season hasn't gotten geared up yet. The NBA and the NHL is in the middle of everything. Once the end of March happens, you got March Madness, the start of the baseball season. You start to get into the April with the NFL draft, and then you got the NBA and NHL playoffs, and then everything starts to kind of kick into gear again once April hits. March is kind of a tough month. You have the March Madness and everything of that nature, but it's just especially now with the World Baseball Classic happening. But really quick, trip was great. Trip was fantastic last week. Got to see my parents. It was awesome to see them.
It's
That was a
amazing.
lot of fun. That my brother was there with my nephew. That was a lot of fun to have just everybody together. My son and my nephew had a great time up until the last day when there was a little moment that happened. But it was other than that, the trip was great. Everything was great. And if you didn't see, I did a lot of photo dumps. I know Speedy was liking everything on Instagram.
Yeah,
so
I saw at least 5 Caleb Instagram stories. He looked pretty happy.
yeah, I mean, the big thing that I took out of this trip was I asked him, what do you like more, Disney or Universal? He said, I like Universal more. And I said, wait, when that happens, we'll see in the future.
Kid's got sense. Kid's got sense, he knows.
Well, like I said, we're gonna go back next year. We wouldn't do the parks next year, honestly. If I just took him to the pool every day and I did like one day at like SeaWorld where he just gets to go to like see the sharks and the fish and all that, he'd have a great time. He doesn't need to do the parks to get himself. And then Carter can be there too, which is nice. You don't have to worry about ride heights, or you don't have to worry about this and that. You don't have to just go. You go to the pool. You go see some fish, and then you call it a day. Then I know Brian would love that because he don't go on any of the rides. So it's perfect.
That's it. That's golden. See some fish and you call it a day. I think that's awesome.
That's what I said. But it was a great trip. It was a lot of fun. It was I know my dad he has not been there yet. I went to Epic Universe, the brand new park. And it was here's the nice thing about it. They made it so ginormous that even though there's a lot of people there, it didn't feel crowded. You know what I'm saying? Like there was so much room to walk around, and nothing's like if you go to like Magic Kingdom, you feel bunched. Like you feel
Magic Kingdom is the worst place in the world. It is. I will tell you why later, but the Magic Kingdom is singularly the worst place in the world.
Well, it was. You know what it was? It was crazy. Even like I would say, Adventure, you don't feel very bunched. When you go to Universal, it feels when it gets crowded, you feel a little tight. It feels a little tight there. But if you go to like Islands Adventure, it's not that bad. But when you go to Epic, there's just so much space. And the thing is, they have cutoff. Like they'll cut off the ticket sales. Like they will have a cutoff now for when you could go. You know what I mean? So like if they sell enough tickets, like they'll cut off the ticket sales and they'll cut off the express passes. Like they will just be like, nope, you're done. It was really just I got to do every ride there except for the Donkey Kong ride and the Fire Drill ride, which is being under refurbishment already. I did every single ride there. The longest time I waited, about an hour 45, I waited for Harry Potter on a single rider. Speedy, yep, did that. Wait an hour 45. But the if you saw the pictures, the queue is awesome. That's the one where I went through the smoke, the green room. That was cool. And it's kind of crazy actually with the queue, because with the queue, it's like people are actually getting off the line and they're just wandering around. They don't even tell you to get out. You could just wander in there. It's just kind of weird how it was done. Usually you go on a ride, you're done, you get off, right? And you're off. Now you go off the ride, they take you through the queue again, and then you actually have to go through that place. You go through like the smoke room area to get off the queue and go outside again, which is pretty cool.
I guess you call that the grand exit.
You could look at it in that perspective. I thought Super Nintendo World, they did I wish it was a little bigger. That's the one.
It will be eventually. We're gonna get bigger.
Because the thing is, it's very complicated because it's like you got to get on an escalator to get through it, and then you're on the top floor. And other than the Mario Kart ride, everything's on the bottom floor. Everything's on the bottom floor. So you gotta, so it's kind of like that's. I was like a little weird with that. I took my dad's advice, took him to a show I saw the Untrainable How to Train Your Dragon show, which was unbelievably cool. That was cool. So to me, I just thought the whole. I did both Stardust Racers. It was very funny. Did both of those. I'm leaving. 2 hours later, all of a sudden, it says it's delayed. An hour later, again later, it says it's closed. And then also they do an impromptu refurbishment to like the first week of March. I was like, well, thank you. Oh, I was lucky. I got on that then. And let me tell you, that ride, if it says it's like 25 minutes wait for that ride, that's like a 10-minute wait. That ride, it's like an assembly line. That ride, they just throw you on and go. They got 3 cars on tracks running on 2 different tracks.
That's why the guy died on it, because they just threw him on and let him go.
They said, that's it. Hey, you know what, though? I'm not going to say what I want to say. I want my show to stay on, but that's okay. I'll say what I say. But it's true, though. It really, the park was a unique experience. It was great. The food there is really good. Nighttime, go there at night was awesome. I got to do that carousel. Is the coolest carousel, and if you ever have a chance to go on the carousel at night, that's when you do it on your way out. I did that with my son. That was awesome, and that we were the last ones to get to ride it for the night. Actually, that was pretty cool. But that was cool. Oz Adventure is always awesome, and even Universal is good. There's a lot to do for kids. There's a lot to do for toddlers. There is a lot to do there. You'd be very surprised. People assume it's just an adults-only park. I mean, my son got it to, he's about 40 inches, and he pretty much got to do everything at Epic, the new park, except for Stardust Racers ride. I think he was able to, and the Monsters Unchained. Other than that, he got to do, he was able to get on every single ride there, which is awesome. And he's 4. That's a nice thing. But the Monsters ride was the best ride. I'll leave it at that. That was the best ride. Monsters Unchained. It broke down right as I got to the front. And the guy said, "Are you by yourself?" I said, "Yes." The guy then gave me 2 Epic Universe Express passes to cut the lines on rides for later. That's like a $150 value.
Come on, relax. Let's calm down.
It is, Gold. Yeah. The prices for fast passes for that park were $280.
Well, I'm selling yours then. I'm selling the one I got there.
You should. I only used it for one thing. I only used one of them, and that was for the Mario Kart ride. That was it. So I mean, it's so yeah. I mean, it was really cool. It was fun. Velocicoaster is the best ride there.
Well, it sounds like you had a nice time.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, great. I did. You know what? I had a blast, but it was cool though. I know you took him to Hollywood Studios.
Yeah,
so he got to do that. That was fun. And
yeah, he covered his ears. He covers his ears. Watches the show.
Watch the show. Did Indiana Jones again? Did that? So that was fun. This is making Speedy want to eventually go back to Universal again. This is what
Speedy. Do not. I'm looking at you. Do not go back to Disney World.
You know,
do not. Do not. I know you go like, oh, it was so much fun. It was great. Do not.
I'll get your negative input on Magic Kingdom, I guess, later in the show. I'll make the decision on that.
Well, you know what's funny? Let me tell you, if it were up to Arrow, you know what Arrow would say? Screw both parks. Just go to SeaWorld for a day. You'll have a ball.
SeaWorld is a great park. It is. Your kid would probably have a better time there.
He would. And the funny thing is, I have never been to SeaWorld. I have never been there.
So once you're there, it's going to be, it'll be Saw World.
Yeah, exactly. So next year, what is it? No Universal or Disney. Maybe, I'll do SeaWorld for a day and just hang out by the pool. And that's it.
Awesome.
But before we get into all this, why is Magic Kingdom the worst park? Why is that the worst?
I got to make sure there's nobody around. Hold on. I want to make sure. Okay. All right.
They're legitimately looks like there's nobody around.
I do want to walk.
You know why?
I'm going to walk around.
You know why there's nobody around? Because all the vacationers are gone. They're all
No, it's people here. There's just spots you can get here. It's quiet. All right. Magic Kingdom is
You don't have to whisper it,
populated. First of all, the worst thing about Magic Kingdom is only 2 good rides in the whole park. Done. You got Haunted Mansion and maybe Space Mountains. Yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean. Right. But generally, there's not a lot of good rides.
Okay.
But let's talk about the population of Disney World, the clientele. This is going to be politically incorrect, but I'm going. You ready? All right. You have 3 groups of people. The first group of people are people with children. No problem. Awesome. That's what the park's for. A lot of strollers, kids, they're all having a good time. And that makes up about 40% of it. Then you got like 15% of it are like just adults that are just going to have a good time. Maybe they just got married. Maybe they're just going on a one-off vacation.
They wear the things on their shoulders, like a bunch of.
Yeah, I don't got no problem. They're fun. They're just having a good.
That's weird. That's freaking weird. That's so weird.
Then you got this like 45. I can't. I'm looking over my shoulder. All right. Then you got this 45% group of people, and 90% of them are made up of women that weigh over 300 pounds. Okay, this is a group of Disney adults. These are 300-pound women. They either go in groups of 10 or singular, and they're all wearing like Mickey headbands, and they're wearing like Cinderella dresses that are 3 sizes too small. Some of them are in motor carts. It's like crazy. These people are insane. They're like nuts. And God forbid if they bend over, like Disney is bursting out all over. I mean, this is freaking, these people are big. They take up a lot of park space. So it's like, you really just don't want to be there. It's so nice here. And Epcot is just so much nicer. That's it.
That's all you got?
I got more. I got 20 minutes of material, but I don't want to take it up.
You could spread it out over the next 5 shows.
Well, it's actually funny. Somebody asked me the question. They said, "What's something that no longer exists at Disney World that you wish they could bring back?" I said the free fast passes and the I think I said what was it? Not the free parking. Was it free parking?
They never had free parking.
Oh, what was it? It was the parking was.
You were able to park at the hotels if you were slick. You know, but they never had free. What I always miss is they took off the buckets that transported you from one end of the park to the other. They had like this, what they call now the Sky Rider, but they had it actually in a Magic Kingdom.
Let me tell you, I took Caleb on that Skyliner thing. That kid loved that freaking thing.
Of course, that's better than it's better than being in the park.
He loved it. Although once he stood up once and it stopped short, he fell. But I mean,
well, you know,
he fell off the bench too once. He actually slid off the bench. That was funny.
He has a habit of intentionally falling.
Oh no, it was no, because he was grabbing the bench and he let go, and then things started like docking and stopping, and it swung, and then that was pretty funny, you know. But yep. So I mean, like I said.
It's not a nice place. I can imagine. Your kid had a ball. And isn't it weird your kid had a better time in Universal than in Disney? Isn't that crazy?
Well, Speedy, if I said to you, you're going to go to Universal, but you said, I need to go to the new park, right? If I said to you, you're not going to have time to go to the new park, would you just do the Universal Nonsense Adventure? Or you'd be like, I'm only going if I go to the new park.
I'd have to scout it out, but being I haven't been there in 10 years, I don't think I would care either way.
Yeah.
That new park is good, man. And like I said, that's the nice thing.
What's the nice thing?
No, I was saying, like, I would be fine either way, being I haven't been there in 10 years. But I definitely see I would be curious on a new thing that I haven't seen yet.
I think the nice thing is that they cap it. And that's number one. And number two, I think what's great is that they made it such a huge, spacious place that you don't feel crowded. Like you can honestly just like there were times when when I was by myself going, I was just walking around, and I'm like this, I wasn't even trying to run to go on rides. I was just like Like there was
Like
a
me.
moment. Yeah, I was just walking around. I'm like, this is great. Like this, I actually sat on a bench for just a couple of minutes and like just watched the like the fountain area. And
Yeah.
I'm like, this is cool. I said, this
Well,
is
it's
really
supposed
cool.
to be like a park. It's supposed to be like a park. You know, they have rides, but the center part of it is supposed to be like a park where you could do
Celestial
just that.
Park. Yeah. Like Celestial Park. You got the roller coaster and you got the merry-go-round. Yeah.
Right. So it's nice.
It is nice. I mean, like I said, my kid had a good time.
See, get the accent. Nobody's here. So what's more nice than this? It's a nice night. Nobody's here. Epcot's the best.
I agree with that. I think Epcot is the best park.
Yeah, so that's
Melissa says Magic Kingdom.
yipes. All right, I'm a little worried about her. I'm a little worried about her.
I said Epcot's the best. I said Epcot. I like Hollywood Studios too, only because it had a lot for my son to do. But I like Epcot the best.
Okay. I like
Animal Kingdom's got to finish the construction.
I like Animal Kingdom second and
They got
Epcot
to
the
finish
best.
the construction. They got to finish the construction. Once they finish, there's too many walls. There's too many things.
Yeah, that's fine. But it's a nice park to walk around in.
When it's out of vacation time, sure.
Yeah, but this is nice. Look,
I will
feel
say
like
this about. No, go on. What were you gonna say?
No, I feel like I'm so continental. I'm just walking through countries. Look at me.
I will say this. One thing about Epic, they gotta add shade. They gotta add. I mean, it was when I was going. It was like 80-something degrees. It was hot. By like 12:30, I was like, "This is like crazy." You know what I mean?
I think. The problem is they have a lot of trees, but they haven't grown yet. You know what I mean? They planted all these trees, but they're not mature.
Like, it was just crazy. Like I guess Super Nintendo had some shade, and like I guess How to Train Your Dragon had a lot of shade. But like you go through Dark Universe and you go through the Harry Potter area, there's no shade.
You know where I find that? I find that at Hollywood Studios at Disney is like that. To me, it's just no shade. I just walk around and think it's hot here.
Yeah, I find Magic Kingdom no shade.
You see?
I'm sorry. Magic Kingdom. I mean, listen. The weirdest thing I saw this trip was I was online for Velocicoaster and I saw a guy wearing a Harry Potter robe and he bought one of those robotic owls that go on your shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, what are we doing here?
This is what I'm saying. All of Disney is like that. There's people like that. If I find people, I might turn the phone around and you get a glimpse of what I'm talking about. But there's not a lot of them here. They're always at the other park. Tons of them.
Well,
they take
I'm gonna say Speedy goes there in the next 5 years. I say Speedy gets there.
All right, well, good. I could help him out. I could tell him how to save money, and maybe I could, give him advice.
He would take it. He would listen to you. You've been there so
many
times.
Why won't you listen
right,
to me?
Speedy?
Oh yeah, he's been like a virtual tour guide.
I could be. I got a season pass, illegal season pass. So look at me.
Oh God, yes. Yeah. Oh, God, yes. Let's get into the sports now. So to me, obviously, we're going to get into the Olympics right now and what happened with Team USA in Canada. A couple of things to take into it. First off, was it Connor Hellebuyck? Unbelievable that game. Saved them that game. That's number one.
That one fluky save.
That one save he made with the stick. When I thought McKinnon got it. Right? It was McKinnon that shot it, I think it was.
Yeah, it hit his stick, and I don't even know how it ricocheted in that direction, but it ricocheted off his stick wide, which is amazing.
What was it? Who was it that shot, Speedy?
McKinnon shot it, and it was Taves that tried to redirect it and went behind him, and then that's where he got the stick on.
Yeah, so I would say that was a turning point. I would say the 5-on-3, where it was it was so funny. Kind of at a 5-on-3, and you're seeing like McDavid, McKinnon, all these guys are coming on, and also I see Mike Sullivan put on like JT Miller and Vincent Trocheck, and I go, let's see how this goes. And they actually didn't even get they didn't even get a shot on the 5-on-3, which
Yeah, it was
just
terrible.
like, that was like, no, but that's because they played really good, Miller and Trocheck. They pinched every time. They kept pinching in on the zone. I'm like, I haven't seen that one single time this year for the Rangers when they've been on the Rangers. Not one time. And it's so funny. It was like, oh, look at the. I'm like, yeah, but Trocheck's going to be traded in like a week. So I'm like, what does it even really, it doesn't really matter? You know what I mean? But it was. You know,
The thing that shocked me, the thing that shocked me, and I know I talked to it, was how poorly Canada played in the overtime. Like, it was just horrible. Like, they didn't respect puck ownership. Like, they would go, like, you know, they would just run to the net.
Dominated the first 2 periods.
Yeah. When they had the overtime 3-on-3, they did not respect the puck ownership. I was shocked. They wouldn't, you know, most good teams, they'll wheel it, go in the zone, go out of the zone, go in until they get a 2-on-1 and something. Canada just went very aggressively into the zone, lost the puck 2 times for no reason.
I think the problem with what Canada was, and I agree with you. I mean, to me, Canada completely owned the game. Hellebuyck and that 5-on-3 saved them. I view it like this. I think if Crosby plays in that game, I think Canada wins. I think that was something that Canada. I mean, he you know, that's their team captain, number one. Number two, he's a veteran that's done it before so many times in big games, and he was actually having a pretty good. I know he got hurt, but he was having an okay tournament. I just think when Crosby was out, first off, what Crosby does, Speedy, you know this really well. Crosby's front net presence is ginormous, and I feel like Canada just didn't use that. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't utilize it correctly. They were just. It was very weird how tentative they were. To me, I just thought Canada should have won the game 6-1. I mean, that's just the reality.
Yeah, even without it, I mean, this game was there to win.
Canada just, and I gotta get, Benny, and I gotta say that Canada's goaltending was a big question mark going into this, right? Because Bennington was their number one. How are they going to survive this? They did what? Now, I definitely think if it was 5-on-5, I think Canada wins in overtime also. I don't think it should be 3-on-3 in overtime in the Cup and the Olympics. It should only be regular season. That's it. I thought that. I didn't even know it was 3-on-3.
Me neither.
What happened? I didn't know, and I went, "Wow!" I'm like, "This is horrible." I'm like,
was it the same for the women? I didn't see the women's overtime. Was it the same for the women's 3-on-3, or did they go 5-on-5 on the overtime?
International rules apply to both.
For the women, it's international rules.
Same thing.
Okay.
That's crazy. See, to me, so I feel like when you kind of put it into that perspective, it's kind of. I think if it goes 5-on-5, I think Canada wins. Canada should again. Hellebuyck saved them that whole game. I mean,
amazing.
I mean, Hellebuyck. That's Hellebuyck's greatest because I mean, Speedy knows. I've said this in the past. Even when I did the lab match with him and Arrow, I used to say Connor Hellebuyck to me is one of the biggest choke artists in the NHL. I mean, that guy just when the playoffs trigger, and literally he becomes a shell. And just it's unbelievable how bad he gets.
Nelson, for your information, Josh and I were the people that picked the Jets to win in 2024. Both of us picked them to win the cup.
Yeah, it's true. We did. I said it. I said I think this is where Hellebuyck turns it around, and then I was like, whoops.
That's funny.
And everything like that. And the other thing that's going to be a question of, and of course they could not play in the Olympics was, the not Russia, but the athletes from Russia. That's another question mark is how would the athletes of Russia been? Because you're talking, I mean, Russia has the best goaltending in the NHL right now from Vasilevsky to Shesterkin to Sorokin to all these guys, right? They have the best goaltending in the NHL. What'd you say? Who else?
I'd say Bobrovsky, too, as a fourth option.
Yeah, Bobrovsky's another one. He's won how many Stanley Cups? So it's 4 goalies You know, that's the question people are going to have is what would Russia's team been with the goaltending?
I just find it all.
Not to mention that they're playing. I mean, not to mention, you're talking what Kaprizov, Panarin. Who else am I missing, Speedy? That would have been from Russia that would have dominated.
Kucherov.
Yeah, exactly. Nikita Kucherov, Ovechkin. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're thinking, you're like, to me,
I just think it's, I think it's all just less satisfying when it becomes like, I know I'm older than you guys, but it's very less satisfying when it just turns into NHL All-Star players playing against each other.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not, it's not like America. I don't feel the national pride because America won with a bunch of NHL All-Stars. I just don't feel it, It's a different feeling than if it was just amateur players that NHL just produced. That America just produced like college players. I just find it less satisfying, less interesting.
Is anybody okay with Kesh Patel, the director of the FBI, celebrating with them after using government tax money?
That guy's awesome.
I mean, is that are we good with that, or are we just like whatever?
What am I going to do? We got bigger problems. Although you got to love him. You got to love Cash. You got to love that guy. He's like Waldo. He shows up everywhere.
I thought that was a I'm going to leave it at this. That was a choice. That was definitely a choice. But he used taxpayer government money to fund himself to go there. So, we're still trying to hide Epstein files, but we're going to fly ourselves to Italy to go celebrate with Team USA. I thought that was interesting. But yeah, sure. I don't want to get into politics. This is not what this is. I could go all day for this one. I mean, whatever. And by the way, not everybody from Team USA showed up. I know two of the guys that did not show up to the White House today was I think Kyle Connor and Jake Gensel were two of the guys that did not show up today.
Did you hear the women are not going to the White House because Trump insulted?
Yeah, I mean, do you blame them? Really?
I really don't. It says something about the NHL men players for showing up. I mean, just because you're not one of the women, he insults. Just insulting people like that, you would go, I don't want to be a part of this, even though I'm not one of the women. I would just go, I ain't going either. In support of them. That's just a horrible thing to say.
Yeah, I agree. He won't listen. We know how he is. So I mean, in the end, it's. But like I said, to me, when the goal happened, I was kind of like,
Yeah.
Speedy, what was your reaction when you saw the goal? Were you like, wow? Were you like celebrating, or were you like, eh?
Yeah, no, I was celebrating because it was like the U.S. was getting breakaway on the first period, but it wasn't a lot after that because Canada just dominated puck possession so much. So I figured like they could have golden chances to do it early in overtime because I think if it got extended in like further into overtime, eventually the way Canada was possessing the puck, they would score.
Did we also like Trump? Did we also like Trump reposting a video of himself pretending to be on Team USA and skating around and knocking Canadian players over? And we all like that. We did that. I mean, this guy, man, the ego trip galore, dude. I mean, it's nuts. But no, when I saw, you celebrated, I was just like, whatever. I think if it was 5-on-5, I would have said that's cool. But the 3-on-3, it's just like, I was
almost rooting for Canada after a while. I was rooting for Canada. I was like, they've had so many chances. Let them win this stupid game. Like, I don't feel nationalistic towards this team. This team is just a bunch of high-paid guys that just happen to be U.S. players. They're not, it's like the basketball team. Like, what do I care if
what was the year when Miller was the goalie and they lost in what was the year Miller was the goalie and they lost in OT when Crosby scored? Was that 2014?
2010. That was
2010. That was all. See, that was All Stars, but that team, I felt the connection with that team. I did. Because they had All Stars, but the thing is, the Canadian team was a juggernaut. You know what I mean? And you have to remember, Sweden came off the gold in 2006, so it was kind of like there's a lot. You know what I mean?
I just think they have to find a balance. It just can't be 100% pro players on every team. You know, I just think there just has to be some sort of balance. I mean, it's just I just don't find it as much fun. It's like watching an NHL All-Star team game. You know, I don't care. I know they're all very good, and that's great.
I would have
but
liked
I don't.
to see, like I said, you were never going to see Russia in it, but you're curious how they would have done against them. I mean, remember they almost lost to Sweden. They almost lost to Sweden. It was
That's right.
You know, I remember we were watching that by the pool. We were watching that, and people were at the bar were like going nuts.
That's right.
I mean, that was a good game because Sweden tied it with a minute to go, and I said, "Oh wow, okay, so Sweden might actually do this." It's funny how Mika Zibanejad had like an unbelievable week and a half in Italy, but hasn't done jack squat in 2 years with the Rangers. That's fascinating, but that's okay. I find that's again, in the words of what I say, that's a choice, and everything like that. But like I said, I thought the Olympics as a whole. Listen, I'm gonna miss my curling.
It's the only sport, man. Curling every 4 years gets hot, right? It's like 24-hour curling.
Every time it gets hot, people then do it like over the summer. They do it in the year, and then after next year, you're not even going to hear about it anymore.
That's right.
So to me, I just thought.
You know why people like it? Because everybody who watches it says, I could do that. You know, like, I think I could do that. You know, I could sweep.
Can I tell you something? First off, I know how to ice skate, and it's crazy. You need special shoes for curling, and I've seen what the shoes look like. I'd fall. I can't do that.
You can't curl?
I can't. You know what it is? I could do the slide. I could do the sliding when you used I forget what I think it's called. What's it called? A brick? What is that thing called, Speedy? The thing that's called
I've heard it just called a stone.
A stone. A stone. When you move the stone, I could do that. It's I think keeping up with it and sweeping at the same time, trying to shuffle your feet. I think that's hard. That's tough.
Come on. I mean, Speedy, do you think you could do it eventually with some practice?
I can't even. I've never even ice skated before.
No, you don't have to ice skate, but the shoes that you don't slip on the ice. They're made so you don't slip on the ice. I mean, they're not.
I'm with Josh. I think being the person that launches it.
And this is somebody. And listen, I'm somebody that knows how to ice skate. I'm telling you, I can't even do.
How do you know? If you got the special shoes, you're not going to slip. These girls are just sweeping.
And they're screaming.
They're screaming at each other.
Hey, Tyler. You know, I mean, they're just screaming at each other and they're going, "What is happening?" I mean, I'm just like, I don't know. I mean, I was watching people. I mean, people on the airplane going home from Florida were watching it on Delta. They were watching it on the TV, and it was. I'm just like, I mean, it's not everything like that, but yeah, the Olympics are done. It goes to France now for 2030. Which is weird because I heard some parts of it are going to be in Italy still because France doesn't have enough
mountains
and stuff to hold it. But I'm serious. So that's the part I'm kind of just like, all right, well, if you don't have enough mountains to do this, I'm like, why are you hosting it then?
Look, it's all right. Like Italy, France, they're right next to you. You can do it.
It's in Prague, I think. I think it's going to be in Prague for France. So it's. And then we get to what the Summer Olympics or the next one in is it the U.S.?
Is it in the United States?
Is it the U.S. one, Speedy?
Yeah, it's in LA.
It's in, I think, what are the locations? L.A., Chicago, New York.
New York. Get out of here.
Let me see.
The Olympics?
Yeah, listen. I'm going to look it up right now. U.S. Olympic locations. Let me see. 2026.
No, 2028, and it's only LA. I think you're thinking of the World Cup, which is this year.
Oh no, I'm thinking of the U.S. Olympic location summer. Hold on. Here we go. 2028. Oh, it is L. Never mind. It is LA. Sorry.
LA. All right. Awesome.
Yeah,
That'll be fun.
The locations are at the Memorial Coliseum, SoFi Stadium. That'll be for the opening ceremony and swimming. The Memorial Coliseum will be for track, Intuit Dome, which will be in Inglewood. Is that the one? That's where the Lakers play. That'll be for basketball. The Rose Bowl is going to be for soccer. Dodger Stadium is going to be for baseball and softball. BMO Stadium will be for soccer and lacrosse. That's where I think the LA Galaxy play. The Long Beach Convention Center will be for handball. The Riviera Country Club will be for golf. California State University will be for cycling, tennis, rugby, and field hockey. So we've got a basic recreation area will be skateboarding, BMX. Where's the volleyball going to be? Is there where volleyball is? Oklahoma.
Could be at like UCLA. It could be anywhere.
They're doing one thing in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. For one thing, I don't know what's going on there. Where's the volleyball? I can't find where the volleyball is. I guess the Long Beach can. Yeah, I guess they could do it anywhere.
So it is 2028.
Yeah, and then the Olympic Village is going to be at UCLA.
That's going to be awesome. That'll be awesome because there's one thing about America is we're very welcoming to foreigners. That'll be so much fun. Everybody's going to want to be there. Everybody's going to be there. Are you kidding me? Oh, it's going to be awesome.
Where is the? I gotta find. Where's the volleyball at?
It's gotta be a match.
Here, it's at the Honda. It's at the Honda Center. That's I think for just indoor volleyball. That's where the Ducks play. Where's beach volleyball? It's got to be somewhere.
The whole coast.
Oh, that's long. There's plenty of places. They have plenty of places they could play.
Well, two of the things are going to be in OKC, Oklahoma. It's going to be softball and canoeing. Are going to be in OKC, Oklahoma, which is like
You're gonna have canoeing in a state that has barely any water.
I don't. Yeah, New York's going to have a part of soccer. Preliminary.
Yeah, New York's gonna have the Giant Stadium, right?
Yeah, they're gonna have preliminaries. It's gonna be at Ethad Park, which is gonna be the new. That's gonna be the new stadium at Citi Field, in Queens. Yeah. So that'd be interesting.
Awesome.
And then the World Cup final. And then the World Cup finals are gonna be in MetLife Stadium, which I want to know who decided. I don't know who decided that one. Who did that?
Why not? Why not? New York is a great city for that. We're a melting pot. We got a lot of people.
That's fine. No, I'm fine with that, but it's kind of more so.
Oh, transportation?
No, you have all these beautiful stadiums you could have this championship in, from Vegas, LA, and then you pick that dump hole.
Yeah, well, that's true. That is true. I don't know. I'm not going to argue with you. It's a dump.
It is a dump. You're right. Almighty. But yeah, like I said, so that's going to be the next thing. But let's get into a little bit of what's going on in the NBA right now. A lot of conversations, after the trade deadline happened. The Cleveland Cavaliers have found themselves, with James Harden. Obviously, the Cavaliers are great.
Yeah, they're playing well.
They're playing well. The Pistons are still dominating. They just whooped the Knicks again the other night.
It's all right. It's okay. I have confidence in the Knicks. I really do. I think they could beat Detroit in a playoff series. They would play Detroit in the second round right now. They're 4 the Knicks, right?
Yes.
Okay, fine. I like that. I played. I don't mind that. I think the Knicks could beat any of the top 4 teams when they're right. And, I don't see why, I know everybody's down on them because they're not playing great right now, but I think that, they got the talent. They could certainly make it to the finals. I don't know if they could beat anybody in the West, but they could certainly make it to the finals.
I mean, yeah. Like I said,
Give me your anti-town speech. Go right now, Towns. 3 minutes of anti-town.
No. It's actually not Towns. You know who's the guy that's really been annoying me?
I know.
It's Bridges.
Yeah.
I have never seen a more unmotivated player than Mikal Bridges. I mean, that guy just he's just not. He just doesn't want to be involved. He's not aggressive. He doesn't try to get rebounds. He doesn't score a lot of points. He gives up on defense. And then at the end of the game, when he'll hit like a three, he does that dumb thing. He does that dumb thing. I hate that thing. It's like, I can't stand that. It's like
he was supposed to be like another OG, and he's not. And OG is better than expected offensively, and Bridges is worse.
By a mile. It's not even. That's why the Bucks want OG and not Bridges, and the Knicks are like,
of course,
no, we're not doing that.
He's the most important player on the team.
I mean, to me, I view the whole thing as with the way Bridges is, and I'm just trying to wrap my head around the fact that this guy is just an unmotivated person. Like, he's getting out-rebounded, out-hustled in games. He gives up on plays. He looks unmotivated in the huddle. I'm trying to say, did we all see what Shaq did the other day when he was talking to Towns on national TV, trying to tell him that he needs to start showing more grit? And Towns was like, "I got you," and then it's not me about the team. And then Shaq was like, "No. It is also about you because you're part of that 1-2 punch with Jalen. You need to start amping up your play if you want to win a championship." Like that.
I think he's fine. I mean, I think too much is expected of him. He's a finesse center. He gets a lot of rebounds. He shoots well when he's motivated to shoot. There are times he disappears in the offense, which is, I don't know. Generally speaking, I think everybody gives him too much flack. His numbers are pretty good. He was an all-star.
He's playing better defensively, I will say this. And I got to tell you, man, Alvarado, what a pickup that was.
Yeah, he got those shots in. It was
I'm starting to wonder if Diawara gets put back in the rotation because it looks like in these 2 or 3 games, Sohan is still trying to fit in. And I feel like Sohan is not fitting in as well as I thought he would. And do you put Diawara back in the rotation? Because they're not going to put Clarkson back in the rotation.
I like Kolek. I mean, he does still turn the ball over a little too much, but the offense flies when he's on the court.
I agree with you. Once McBride comes back, he's done. He's never going to play again because you're going to have McBride and Alvarado at the same time.
Right. Well, that's why I said they should have traded him.
Who?
McBride.
They were never traded. They're not trading McBride. He's a key part of the rotation.
They were fine when he was out. They were fine when he was out.
I view it like this. You're going to have Brunson, Bridges, Anunoby, Hart, Towns, and then I guess when McBride comes, your bench is Robinson, McBride, Alvarado,
Kolek. Yeah, you got pretty deep. Shamet, yeah, right.
Shamet is 4, and then I think they're going to try. It's going to be between Diawara and it's going to be between Diawara and Sohan, who's going to fit better. I think that's your 5. It'll be a 10-man rotation. You're going to play so many guys. You know what I mean? That's the thing. But if you had the bench coming off with McBride, Alvarado, Robinson, Shamet, and then either Diawara or Sohan. One of those 2, and that's your 5-man bench with Hart, Town, Brunson, Bridges, and OG. I mean, that should win the East.
They're going to win games. They'll be fine. That's why I keep saying everybody panics. Stephen A. Smith says Stephen A. Smith quit on him.
Well,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Give me a break. I mean, give me a break. It's the regular season. Let's put it in perspective. Whether you're the 1 seed or the 4 seed, does it really matter? If you're good teams beat teams on the road constantly, and good teams lose, you know, the Knicks. I don't know. I have a lot of confidence in the Knicks versus Detroit in the playoffs.
No,
wouldn't be-
I mean that's what happened last year, right? With Boston. Boston swept
That's
them every
right.
game, they beat them 4-2. So in the end, it's like
Let's be calm. Let's relax. I mean, let it happen. I think sometimes teams like Detroit will go into the Knicks series very confident because of the way the season series went. But if the Knicks beat them that first game, that's like a punch in the nose right there. And I don't know if Detroit can recover from stuff like that. So that's how I look at it. You know, they're very confident, maybe too confident if they play the Knicks. And I think the Knicks have a lot of talent. I mean, once you start bringing, Towns and Robinson, I mean, and they really start playing him constantly with real minutes, this is a different team.
well, I think Towns is starting to, I think Towns the last couple of games he's had 20+ points, more rebounds. I think he's starting to find himself in this offense. And I also think what's relaxed him is the trade deadline has come and gone. And he's not traded. He was not traded for Giannis or anything like that. So I think Towns is like, okay, I'm here. I feel better now. Let me get through this season. Whatever happens in the offseason is what it is. But we got a shot here to win a championship. And again, and I said this time and time again. I said this before. The thing about Giannis not being traded, it's twofold. It's if the team loses in like the conference finals or something like that, or knocked down in the second round, they're going to go after Giannis. If they win the finals, they're going to keep the team status quo. They'll probably lose McBride. They got to re-sign Robinson, but they'll figure and Alvarado. But they got to find the. So it's either one of two ways: either A, they win the championship and they keep most of this team together and they keep going, or B, the team loses in like the second round of the conference finals, and they go and they trade for Giannis. And I think that's what will happen in the off season. And I think that's what I think everybody's predicting that is what's going to happen, because the Knicks are going to have a lot more draft capital to trade and everything of that nature. So I think when you view it, you look at it, that's what I think is the question right now for this Knicks team is, all right, you got Alvarado. You got Alvarado. You trade for Alvarado, right? You signed Sohan from the Spurs. So those are your two additions. And then your third addition will be when McBride comes back in the next few weeks. So those are three additions right there to your bench. It's Sohan, McBride, and Alvarado. We know Alvarado and McBride are going to be in the rotation. Is it going to be Diawara or is it going to be Sohan? Sohan is trying to fit in. Sohan just hasn't fit into this team. It's very early. He's been here for like a week. Whereas like Diawara was playing really, really well. And people were wondering like why, people were like saying like I would just keep playing Diawara until Sohan gets this system down. It doesn't make sense because Sohan just looks completely lost at times. Yeah, and he's a very good defensive player. He's getting beat from behind. It's just communication is not there. Whereas like Diawara knows the system and everything.
Yeah, I get it. I understand. I'm not as high on McBride as you guys are. I'm not a big McBride guy, but I understand he will be the first guy off the bench. But
no, I think what they're gonna do is I think down the stretch or whatever it is, if Brunson can't defend like a Cunningham or a Mitchell or something like that, they're gonna turn to McBride and Alvarado. Like if they're playing Cleveland, right? And if they're winning with like a minute and a half to go, they're gonna put McBride and Alvarado out there to stop Harden and
defend. That'll be their defensive.
That's
right.
Yeah, that's what they're gonna do. It's and the thing of it is, McBride can shoot, and Alvarado has shown he could shoot a little bit. McBride can shoot, and Alvarado shot a little bit.
Yeah, McBride's like a heater. He'll go on a heater and start hitting shots. But there are times McBride will just start putting up shots and just have some horrible stats in a game. That's what I always worry about. Like McBride isn't like he's not an assist guy. He's kind of a little bit like a me guy. He wants the ball and he wants to put it up.
No,
That's what I always.
That's fair to say. I would say that that's pretty fair. But in the same time, I'm just like looking at it and I'm going, all right, you know what I mean? So,
I get it.
but we'll see. Like I said, but yeah, like I said, and then baseball has started. Guys are coming and going.
I know.
Week or so.
I was going to go today.
Oh, that would have been this way if you went for a tie.
I was going to go to the game today.
Yeah.
But then I find out who's pitching. I said, I'm not driving 100 miles to see. I don't even know who these knuckleheads are. You know, it's ridiculous. I think it's the WBC is changing the way the managers are using their premier pitchers. And, you know, we're just seeing, you know, I don't know what we're seeing, just guys that absolutely not making the team being starters.
Yeah, I mean, it's what the right is it, but it's. I mean, like we saw today, for example, it was kind of like I don't know. I saw for
just a bunch of guys.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a bunch of guys that we don't know. We have no idea what they're going to do. No idea how they're. You know, but we'll see what happens and everything of that nature. But to me, there's a lot of things going on. I know, like I said, this is a tough time in sports. You're trying to push away. I know the NFL Combine's going on right now. Speedy's watching that probably every 5 minutes. Right? Scouting his draft players, right, Speedy?
Well, Joe Shane's our GM. He'll find a way to screw it up.
We don't have a pick this year. Green Bay doesn't have a first round pick. So
if you would have been in Chicago, you would have had that first round pick.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have Micah Parsons. So what are you going to do?
That's true.
What would you rather have?
Well, I mean, if you would have been in Chicago, right, you would have had the pick then. Isn't that how it would have been?
Oh, yes. Yes. Yep.
Well, we'll see what happens. But I want to thank everybody for listening and watching us tonight. You can check us out on worldwidesportsradio.com, YouTube, Instagram, Periscope, Spotify, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, and so much more. It's amazing how when my dad's outside, it just gets dark during the show. Again, happy birthday to you again.
Thank you.
Of course, and everything of that nature. Dad, appreciate it as always. We will talk to you.
No problem. Send my best to Eric and his wife.
Yep.
Come back soon.
Yes, we will do it. We will keep talking. We'll see you next week, Speedy. I'll see you next week as well. Hopefully everybody's staying safe from this ridiculous snowstorm out of control.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It's 30 inches. They're saying another 2 to 4 possibly on Tuesday. Is what they're saying. I'm like, what are we doing?
I heard you might get something big on Monday. That's what I heard.
That's the one. It's the 2 to 4 they're saying possibly, but it's so early to tell people. It's too early to tell.
I heard Monday like 12 to 14.
No, that's not. No, that's
no. Okay. Thank God.
2 to 4. 2 to 4. I don't know if my snowblower can handle it anymore. I don't even know. Like, I mean, this thing is working overtime. This thing, it's crazy. But it was like horrible yesterday. And I even did a round on. I did a round on Sunday night. I did a round of it, and I woke up the next time like that did nothing. My driveway is so huge that
you got cars on. You got 3 cars on it. You cover a lot of it.
But it's just so wide that my neighbor even came over and started snow plowing it. It was like, oh yeah, you guys like enough. You know what I mean? So I got to do the walkway, and I got to do my mother-in-law's walkway and her steps, and I got to do that on my steps and everything.
Where's Caleb? Get his ass out. Sorry, get himself out there.
That's okay. You can say it. Caleb hates. He doesn't like snow, so
yeah.
He despises it. He would move to Florida and wear shorts and a t-shirt. That's his dream. He said. He would literally wear shorts and a t-shirt every day. He'd be the happiest kid.
He ditched you so fast to come to Florida.
Oh, 100%. If I said you could wear shorts and a shirt, he'd be like, yep. But thank you, everybody. Thank you, of course, Speedy, as always. Thank you from my father, Nelson Silverberg, for Speedy PD. I'm John Silverberg. Don't forget to check out Job in the Mouth. I believe they're on Thursdays at 6:45. You can check out, of course, Snowman in the Morning and the Weekend Crunch on 103.9 FM, the online news radio network at 7 p.m. right after the New York Honors play with Arrow and Speedy, of course. Telling everybody, have a good rest of your week. I'll talk to you next Tuesday. This is Game On Live on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
This is Mario Andres.